machine is the big mystery. With every transaction.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a very special I Sell Comics. We're live today. I've got Christian running the board. Say hi, Christian.
What's up?
And sitting to my right is the lovely and talented Julia Zapsik. She's my co-host for today. I am Michael Zapsik. It's a pleasure to welcome you folks to I Sell Comics.
Yes. Hello. Good morning. And a special shout out to Michael's co-host, Ming Chen, who is, what do you think Ming is doing in Florida right this second? Ming could not be here today. We couldn't tape yesterday because he had something going on. Ming couldn't be here today because he is down in
He's
at
flying
Pensacon.
right now. What's he doing right now?
You think he's flying?
I think he's flying.
He's in the
right
air.
now.
He's actually in the air right now. Yeah. So he's going to be down in Pensacon. Actually, we could talk it up a little bit. I know that you know some of the folks who are going to be there. And you were super excited about that.
Folks.
So
We have-
you want to...
we have ghosts here. Hold on. There are ghosts and people like calling on the phone. Anyone who calls me here today at 9:30 in the morning can go to hell. So I'm not answering the phone. The Pensacon is down in Pensacola, Florida, and I was a guest there. I think it was 3 years ago, 3 or 4.
Probably.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4 years ago. Mike puts on a great con down there. Big shout out to Mike Ensley and our friends down at 3 Alarm Comics, Scott Hoverman and his crew. They go down there, and it's the entire town just
turns
embraces
into
it.
Con town.
Turns into like Nerdvania.
Oh man,
it's amazing. And you go to some of the restaurants and bars, and they're nerd themes. One of them had a transporter from Star Trek.
Wow.
Like on the back deck. And
so Ming is going to be, it's like Ming is going to touch down into heaven, basically. Because this is his jam.
Well, if there's booze there, he'll be in heaven.
Isn't he podcasting from there too?
Probably.
I think he's going to be podcasting from Pennsylvania.
Because the really funny thing is that it's not Ming Chen from Comic Book Men on his profile. If you go to the Pensacon guest page, it's Ming Chen from A Shared Universe. I'm like, good on you, Ming.
Hell yeah.
Way to stretch that brand out. I love it.
So please go and hang out with Ming Chen, because you know how lonely he gets and
he's
antisocial. You need to draw him out of his shell.
Seriously, please.
And
do that.
just please, do anything you have to do to get him to talk and to, and to
take off his shirt. Oh my God.
We really want to encourage that.
Encourage. I encourage him to keep his shirt on. And my God, no, it's awful. Running down the streets of Houston with his shirt off.
But you know where you can find Ming and follow all of his exploits. You can follow him on his social media.
The Pensacola jail.
Yeah.
So he'll be there.
So we're gonna try to rock out I Sell Comics.
Somebody better bring bail money.
He can be proud of. Yeah. So all right.
Big news. Lots of big news this week. There was a sports ball thing going on last Sunday. That I'm not really the sports guy, but even I watched the Super Bowl. I was rooting for the Cincinnati Bengals because somebody else was rooting for the LA Rams, and I just wanted to piss him off. So I do things out of spite, honey. I'm sorry. I know we've been married for 22 years, but I think you should know that I do stuff out of spite to, just to kind of piss people off. So, but during the Super Bowl, weird thing happened. They dropped the official trailer for Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, they did.
And you saw it.
I did.
What'd you think?
I saw 2 versions of it, actually.
You saw the teaser trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So the teaser dropped about 6 months ago.
You're right. I did see the teaser trailer. And actually, I don't think I saw the commercial on the Super Bowl then.
Me neither.
I think I might have taken a break or just kind of not been watching. But I can say from watching the teaser trailer.
No, the official trailer.
Yeah. I could not be more excited to see it.
One of your favorites is in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention any names except I think they call him Wheels. At least somebody calls him Wheels. So yeah, Wheels is in it. So that's a big thumbs up for me, which introduces some of the Fox acquisitions to
Right.
the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I think is cool.
Which opens the door. Speaking of multiverses.
To the multiverses.
Yeah. To some really interesting stuff going forward if they can pull it off.
Damn straight.
Yeah. If Marvel can continue to do the storytelling that they've been doing up to this point and weaving storylines together, amplifying characters, and translating what we read and love in the comic books onto the big screen, it's another 25 years at least.
Oh yeah.
Of blockbusters.
Oh my God. You know what's really weird? I think of Kevin Feige, and all I can imagine is him sitting behind that desk like Scarface, like Tony Montana. And that's all I can imagine is just like him sitting there like just absorbed in his own crapulence. So it's like I am the best here. You know, first you get the
gold-plated crapulence, man.
First you get first you get the
crapulence.
X-Men, then you get the women, then you get the power.
Come around here because I know that so we're having Christian also.
Christian,
we
jump on
forgot
in.
to tell him to bring his own mic, so we're sharing a mic. But I know you have some stuff you'd like to say about.
Talk.
Oh, this trailer.
Yeah.
I am so unbelievably hyped for this movie, like because I remember seeing the teaser because they dropped it at spoilers at the very end of Spider-Man.
Yes.
And oh my God, I was hyped then. I am more hyped now, especially when you hear some of the surprises that are in the trailer. Because are we going to talk about specifics or like?
We can if you want. I mean, it's out there, and folks, if you have
if you don't want any spoilers, if you're one of those people, this is like your warning.
But then again, if you're one of those people, you're probably calling me at 9:30 in the morning, so you can go to hell.
I was so crazy hype when I heard Professor Xavier's voice.
When you hear that, you're like, oh.
It's just I was just ready for I'm so ready for that movie.
The only cooler thing was if he had, instead of what he said make it so number one. That would I would have been like,
that would be
talk
about multiverse. Yeah.
I mean, I did propose a theory to a couple of friends a couple of weeks ago that Star Trek and the MCU are set in the same universe.
How so?
Tell us about this theory.
So in what's the Star Trek movie where they go to San Francisco?
That is the not Long Way Home. The
is it Undiscovered Country?
No, it's Star Trek 4, the Way Home.
We're having a coffee deficit moment.
Oh my God.
It's the one where they go to San Francisco.
Yes.
And Spock,
they went back in time.
Yeah,
they
get
went
the
whales.
back in time, and
no whales home. That's what it is.
It's no whales home. But Spock is on the bus with this punk, and he does the Vulcan neck thing, and that same punk is in
The Voyage Home.
That same punk is in Spider-Man No Way Home, played by the same guy.
No kidding.
Yeah, his name is Kirk Thatcher, and the only reason I know that is because he's actually the Muppets now go-to director, and he but he got his start as Leonard Nimoy's like assistant, so he's an associate producer on that Star Trek flick and played the same character in No Way Home. So by that logic, it means that technically speaking, Star Trek and the MCU are in the same universe.
Well, yeah.
So there could be there is a Picard out there somewhere.
Well, then that means that Star Wars and Star Trek are very close in universes as well, because in Darth Vader, they showed those creatures that invaded New York.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the Darth Vader comic book.
Yeah.
In the Darth Vader comic book, the
it's all connected,
volume
people.
1. So everything is connected. The Dr. Silo, who is like one of Vader's nemesis, he creates these like big space worms that go around, and they've got that armor plating. And they came and they attacked. They were like being ridden by the Chitauri in Avengers. So that's pretty cool.
It's all connected.
So
my theory is
the Buddha is happy right now. Can you imagine? It's like finally humanity is seeing that everything is connected.
Well, that's
all part of the same.
Maybe the Buddha is Kevin Feige. I just blew your mind.
Ooh.
Yeah, Kevin Feige is.
I'm gonna have to process
Buddha.
that for a bit.
Don't leave us.
All right.
I gotta monitor the stream, okay?
Right.
I gotta make you guys look good.
All right.
So it's dropping. The Multiverse of Madness is dropping May 6th.
May 6th.
It's
yes.
May 6th. So And
we're going to go to a midnight show. Of course.
We are going to go to the midnight show, which means I'm going to need a nap, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Like 9 o'clock.
Well, thank God we got our hammocks in the back from Marianne's Hammocks down in the hammock section of Red Bank. So, yes.
Okay. That's an interesting comment.
The good thing about Marianne's Hammocks is Marianne gets in the hammock with you. So, I'm just kidding.
Okay, that's not in my notes.
Come on, that's a Simpsons reference, for God's sakes. You only moved twice.
You're giving Christian agina over here. He's like...
why do people say agina?
I don't know.
Agita.
Agita. Is it agita?
Yeah, you can say...
I think that's an Italian interpretation of it. If you see any interesting comments, you could shout them out. Yeah,
people like be quiet. This guy says Mike's a jerk.
So we're happy about the Multiverse of Madness. That is going to be
so fantastic. When it drops, that's going to be fantastic. And I probably will, if you come in that next week, spoilers they will abound here at the Secret Stash. No, they won't. I will keep my freaking mouth shut.
Now, is there anything storyline, major comic storyline wise, that is sort of coming together or being introduced? For those who want to kind of get into the story, so they walk into the movie even more hyped up and jazzed. Did you recommend?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't make recommendations. But if you need to get a primer on Doctor Strange, watch the first one. Right off the bat, watch the first one. Watch the Avengers movies, Endgame and Infinity War and Endgame. And I would also recommend watching the WandaVision. WandaVision is, cinematic universe and the comics are two separate entities, but you can glean a little bit from some of the comics. There was also the just a bunch of strange Doctor Strange storylines that will give you added insight.
Well, that's what I was.
Doctor Strange goes up against it's called the Death of Dracula. He takes down vampires in the MCU.
Okay. I can see that.
And by the way, Eternals at the end. Did you watch the Eternals, Christian? I know she did. Did you watch the all the way to the end?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the end credits, we saw Kit Harington, aka Dane Whitman, trying to open the box with the ebony blade in it.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. The ebony blade is such a kick-ass thing. Yeah, it's in the Marvel Comics universe, in the MCU, actually the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Don't know what it's going to play, but that voice, do you know who that was?
That was Blade.
That was Blade. It was Blade.
Not Wesley Snipes.
Not Wesley Snipes, no.
No, not Wesley Snipes.
Not Wesley Snipes, Blade, but Blade.
Yes. I'm just blanking on the name of the guy, but I'm so hyped for that.
Again, is there anything you're not hyped for? I can't wait.
Honestly, what I wasn't hyped for was Eternals, and then I saw it, and I really enjoyed it.
It was a beautifully laid out movie.
Yeah.
And it didn't cleave to the Jack Kirby vision of the Eternals.
That was the biggest complaint that I had seen, but I thought it was still like a fun movie.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of,
Mahershala Ali. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
give him his props.
It was a beautiful movie, and we also get to see in another one of the extended scenes or the post-credit scenes, Star Fox. Not from Crash Bandicoot, not the video game. Yeah, not that Star Fox, but we get to see Star Fox, who is Eros from the Avengers. He started out in the Eternals. He actually started out in Captain Marvel. He was very close friends with Marvel, who we still have not been introduced to in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Our Captain Marvel in the MCU is Carol Danvers, played by Brie Larson, who I think is amazing. She gets a lot of flack, which is unwarranted in my opinion. I think she's a fantastic actress, number one. And number two, she was in Community, for God's sake. So again,
yeah, you can't go wrong.
No, I mean, anybody who was on Community, you're stellar in my opinion. Yeah. So I'm waiting for Joel McHale to get his.
One of the reasons why I asked you about the comics is because I know long time ago when Marvel first started rolling out all their movies, we would go and I would always wait till the end and I would say to Michael, so what did you think? Because curious to know, like a man who knows a lot about comics and the canon storyline, whether the interpretation on the big screen did justice to adaptation. And, happily, I think that in almost every single instance, like, even though you've said, okay, well, actually in the canonical storyline, blah, 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 like, this is how it went, you've been really pleased with the way that the Marvel team has interpreted the comics onto the big screen, right?
Yeah,
and
but
preserved a lot of the heart of the storyline.
And integrity, yes.
Yeah.
And there have been some times when they like mashed up Whiplash and Blizzard. Shapanka was in Iron Man 2. Mm-hmm. It was, and I think a little bit of the Crimson Dynamo in there too. But
because the MCU's never done straight up adaptions of famous books now, has it?
No.
It's more or less been like loose interpretations, but still leading to major moments that people remember in the book.
Much like the Walking Dead TV show veers off completely from
but we still get some major moments from the book.
You do.
They're just interpreted differently.
Right.
Which I feel works in the MCU's favor. I'm glad that they went in that direction instead of just openly adapting everything available, because then people already know there's no surprise.
Yeah.
Like Tony Stark didn't go out that way in the comic books. Like, that's not.
He's
really
still alive in the comic books.
He's still alive in the comic books.
Comic books ain't gonna kill its cash cow, but Robert Downey Jr. is like, I need a break. You guys just
you guys go off without me for a couple of movies.
Yeah,
I have a feeling.
And I do too. And there's so much out there that can happen. And I mean, the what ifs have shown us that.
Oh, yes.
The Disney Plus what if, and it's
you like it too.
I love the what ifs.
What ifs are amazing.
What ifs to me are some of the best animated Marvel content we've gotten in a very long time.
Yes,
because Marvel live action, it's a given.
Right.
Marvel animation tends to kind of sway.
Yes.
Yeah, it depends on who handles it.
And what's really funny is that DC Comics is the opposite. Their live action sucks,
but their animation
is amazing. Young Justice alone is worth the price of admission. I mean, I would pay just to see the Young Justice season 4.
I don't even get me started. Anyway, but with what ifs, for me, I'm also a huge fan of the people who made it. Mm-hmm. It comes from people who worked on like Samurai Jack and shows like that I grew up with. It's created by a guy named Brian Andrews.
Right.
And Brian got his start working with a guy named Gendy Tartakovsky, who did Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack, a couple of other amazing
shows.
The
Cartoon Networks.
Basically, all of the best shows Cartoon Network has done, Gendy's had a hand in doing.
Right.
But anytime one of his crew branches off to do something, it's always something incredible.
Well, that's what you look at Dan Harmon the same way.
Yeah, I can bring it around.
Okay, we're going to bring it around because we need to see more Christian.
Yeah.
Hear more Christian, then we can see more Christian.
And if you want to flip that so you can still
still see, yeah. All right, let's see if I can do this safely.
Yeah, we're going to do a slight technology adjustment.
You got it. Go ahead.
Nope, we got it. All right, that's all I need. I can just peek over occasionally.
I think that is probably. Why don't I share this with you?
I know.
You can have your own.
So what it is? I just assumed not to bring my own mic because I haven't done the show with you guys yet. So I was just trying to be polite.
No,
no, absolutely.
Don't ever be polite with me, buddy.
And we just assumed like Christian's going to be here. Awesome, he's going to be on. So that's good. It's all good.
But yeah, I love the What If so much. I want an Agent Carter movie so badly.
Yes,
oh my God! Well, they are making an Agent Carter comic book, so we will see that What If.
Aren't some of them already like lines that are just because I know What Ifs tend to be their own singular comic books, but don't they tend to branch off and become their own line?
Well, What If hasn't done their own line in a long time. There were 2 volumes of it. One was back in the late 70s, and the other one is probably 2000s.
Okay.
And or 90s.
We picked up like a lot of them when we went.
Yes, that's true. But they're
just making a camera adjustment.
Not a problem. They were all just like one and done. Or every once in a while a 2-parter, but you would never get. They were all set in separate universes, and they played with reality. You could Spider-Man. Nobody was safe. Spider-Man could die,
but that
Spider-Man usually did.
That's
die.
What's so cool about the What Ifs. But there was a lot of other really interesting stories. Like, what are you looking forward to most in terms of hoping that they adapt? Because I don't know beyond the initial, like, kind of what if. So, like, what do you hope that they end up doing?
Well, they did a what if, and this was the first time I had ever seen Michael Golden's artwork, aside from on covers. But Michael Golden had done, he had drawn what if Spider-Man had stopped the thief that killed his Uncle Ben.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So he did it for publicity, and then he became like a Hollywood producer, and he became this scumbag. And he was just in it for, he made the X-Men. He's like, look, the world fears and hates you. Why don't we flip the script and have them be this, you're going to be heroes, and I will make sure that the world knows you're heroes. And he did the same thing with the Avengers and the Fantastic Four, and they're all under his like umbrella, but it was like entertainment.
Oh.
And J. Jonah Jameson, Spider-Man wasn't there to save his son, so his son died in like a horrific
which they have yet to adapt into.
His son,
J. Jonah Jameson, like having a kid. Have they done an adaptation or
no? They haven't
any storyline yet.
In the MCU, they haven't.
Not just MCU. I'm talking like any form of like Spider-Man media, because I didn't even know he had a son.
In the
I
comics,
mean, it makes sense.
In the comics, he has a son.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, Spider-Man saves his life because he's an astronaut and his capsule goes awry. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Really?
Spider-Man saves him by putting this unit in, and J. Jonah Jameson's like, this Spider-Man's a menace because look at what he did to my son's, capsule.
Look at what he did. He saved him, but I still hate him.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
but
but
he
he
said,
was
he
blaming him.
sabotaged it so he
Okay.
could, be the public hero. It's like, all right. That's a stretch, J. Jonah.
Man, talk about someone obsessed with.
Well, J. Jonah Jameson was obsessed with, he thought that the superheroes had an unfair advantage over regular people who are heroes. And, they're getting all the attention, and I'm going to use my paper to make sure that they don't. And he just hated Spider-Man because here's this brash young kid who's, self-deprecating, and he's like, well, he's a piece of crap, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, but I mean, one of the things that I always felt about J. Jonah Jameson was that as much as people have tried to kind of get into his head and to play psychologist as to why, I mean, really, when it comes down to it, there is no why. He made up his mind at some point that he hates Spider-Man and he can't back off, no matter how much evidence to the contrary is presented, no matter how many times Spider-Man comes in and saves the day, saves his own son. He has gotten himself into a position where he can't and won't back away from that.
What an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Where it's like, where even if he saved your family, hundreds of times,
you're just so invested.
You're so invested in hatred that even you can acknowledge that you can't back off.
Oh, Spider-Man saved him thousands
of times.
Millions of times.
So many.
Literally millions of times.
And still.
Huh.
I know.
Still.
It's because.
So what's up with that, right? I mean,
he's got some issues.
Yeah. J. Jonah's got a lot of issues.
I love what they did with him in the MCU. Not just bringing back
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons as him, but the idea that he's kind of this Alex Jones type is so funny to me.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I love that. I love the shot, especially where it's like you think that he's in this major studio, which he is later, but it's really just him in his house surrounded by like conspiracy and tons of paperwork. It looks just like an unorganized comic book shop.
Which you will never get here at Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
You will love it here.
Unless we're processing a new collection.
That's
then it
true.
gets a little scary.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about something else. Breaking news. Yesterday it was announced that the Justice League Avengers crossover that George Perez and Kurt Busiek produced back in the early 2000s,
2001, 2002,
2001, 2002, which has been out of print since 2008, is coming back into print. Heroes Initiative. God bless you, Heroes Initiative. Which George Perez sits on the board of.
Didn't you actually suggest that on a different ISL Comics?
I did, but I'm
they
got not the only
from us.
No, but no, they heard the fans out there, and from what I understand, this has been in the offing for a while. So I think it's fantastic that they're.
It's a remarkable book, no?
Fantastic book. It is one of the very rare, awesome crossovers between Marvel and DC.
They did a wonderful job.
They've done a couple things that were semi-noteworthy. The Amalgam comics were pretty cool, where they mashed up like two very popular
heroes.
Yes,
Spider, Wolverine and Batman.
Yes, it was Darkclaw. Superman and Captain America was Super Soldier, and they had Spider-Man and Superboy, the clone of Superman. He was Spider-Boy, which is actually pretty cool.
I like that. That's cool.
It was really cool. Then they had
now this was when these comic book companies were still independent, right?
Yes, this is when they did not have corporate overlords.
So it's kind of a bygone thing like this probably.
We were talking about that this morning. Yeah, like what's never say never, right?
Never say
that's true. We live in the age of the multiverse, right?
Because and I'm hoping that someday Disney will.
He's hoping Disney just gobbles everything, owns everything.
I know that. How horrible is that? But I would love for them.
Please, God, no! I need my cinema, not just from the mouse.
No, you would, but you would get a JLA Avengers movie.
I know I would, but at the cost.
What? No,
what did it cost?
It's true,
everything.
It's true.
It would not cost.
Stephen Strange, don't do this to us. I didn't know.
Mistakes were made.
This is not what I wanted.
But I'm with you. I would love to see that. I mean, how amazing. I don't think we'll get it with the current crop of actors that we have in the current iteration of the MCU, nor do I think it'll happen with DC. But I do think it'll happen, especially coming from the fact that like Warner Brothers and Disney have collaborated before.
Yes, and let's put it this way: if you wanted to make all the money in the world,
just do
why
that.
wouldn't you? Yeah, it's like, all right, there's $20 out in Topeka, Kansas that we don't have our hands on. How do we get it? Make a Justice League and Avengers movie. Then you can get that $20 out of the old miser from Topeka. He's like, I've been waiting forever for this.
And each company can build or make lead up movies. Like it's a whole united universe.
That's exactly.
Oh my God, it would be amazing.
I know. But at what cost, Christian?
Everything.
So, George, and we have done nothing on this show, if not pronounce our love for George Perez, and rightly so. He's one of the most dynamic storytellers out there. Even though he's retired, and he has stage 3 pancreatic cancer, and he unfortunately has moved into hospice now. But that doesn't mean death is imminent, which I think is encouraging.
It's a quality of life thing.
Yes, and he had to cancel an event that he was going to do. And you know what? Whatever you need to do, George, we're behind you 100%. Any fan that's like, I was going to send, and you know what? Call me at 9:30 in the morning, pal. How about that?
Do you really think, though? I think that the fans are going to rally around him. I think that they're going to give him all the support.
The real fans are. Yeah. The speculators are speculators, and we'll see them. And they're going to be that they're going to be silent, and they better be, at least to me. So, but
you know what I thought was interesting when you were saying the other day that we have the pajamas he wore. You want me to go get the pajamas?
No, those aren't the pajamas. That is George had. No, don't do it. We'll tweet it out. In the next couple of days. And George and his lovely wife Carol, who she is such.
Good people.
She's great. She's fantastic. Yeah. She made all of his shirts for his con appearances. So she made all of his Hawaiian shirts.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Did she make the shirt that he wore when he was on Comic Book Night?
Yes, she did. And she made the one that he gifted us. So they gifted us. Cool. Both of them signed it. So
it hung up in the original stash. It was like in the, not the rafters.
It was in the rafters.
It was.
Yeah. I shadow boxed it. It's behind the counter now. It's got a place of honor. So
that's cool. Because I remember because I filmed the Project Stash video series, filming the construction for the new place, and just seeing all the cool stuff that came out of the old place was amazing. But that was one of the cooler pieces. When you told me what it was, I was like, "That's so cool."
Lamb chop.
That's
lamb
so
chop,
cool.
Lamb chop shirt signed by them both. It is a prized possession here.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And
so with the Perez with the crossover that's going to come back out,
yes,
we're going to have some.
I placed an order yesterday.
Good.
It's very limited. 7,000 are being printed. Why 7,000? Not a clue. It's a $30 book. Guess what? People are going to be paying a premium for it. I was able to order a limited number, very limited, and I don't know how many I'm going to get. That's the problem, because allocations will occur. I'm like, son of a bitch. They should have gone to, and they might do a second printing. I'm hoping they do. But it's a beautiful piece of work, and all the money goes to the Hero Initiative, which gives,
that's good to know.
Hero Initiative. If look them up online, Google Hero Initiative. I think their tagline is giving our artists and writers a golden age. So that's.
I really like that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, because notoriously, freelance. Speaking of Jay Jonas, freelance. That's what you want, freelance. Most artists and writers are freelance. They don't hold
residuals.
Staff. Yeah, they don't hold staff positions.
That's the story for so many comic book creators, but the one that really comes to mind is Superman's creators.
Yes.
They fought for credit for years.
Yes. And Neil Adams, another artist, was instrumental in getting them their stipend. Warner Brothers, when Superman came out.
Siegel and
Schuster. Yeah, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. When Superman came out, actually, this goes back further when they had It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman on Broadway. Neil Adams went to the theater to watch it. I think it was like opening night. And a car pulls up and he looked in. He's like, holy crap, that's Joe Shuster. And he's like, are you coming to see your guy? He's like, no, I'm driving a cab. I'm dropping somebody off. He could only see. He couldn't afford it. He couldn't afford the ticket.
Wow.
There was, oh my God.
That's a crazy story.
That's an insane story.
That Bill Finger's story.
Yeah. A lot of people.
Just that irks me so much.
Well, yeah, Bob Kane took all the credit for Batman, and it's just that his father was a lawyer. So his father made a great deal for him.
But didn't Bob Kane contribute some elements though? Like it wasn't just like a full steal. Like it was like Bill really did a lot. Yeah. But Bob did help and contribute.
And Jerry Robinson and Bill Finger are essentially the guys. I think that Bob Kane came up with the idea, but he wanted Batman to be all in red and have like a mask, and his cape was going to be like bat wings. They were static, like Hawkman's wings. They were going to be like that, and it just would have looked awful.
Yeah, I'm not about that.
No, look it up, and I mean it's god awful. So, but
you could see Batman at night then.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
He's red as a fire hydrant.
Exactly. It's like, where do I shoot? Right there, that red thing coming at us.
Oh my God! I'm surprised they let Robbins out to go through after all that.
No, that was actually that was Bill Finger too. Bill Finger and Jerry Robinson came up with the joke.
Well, I mean, you know what? It makes sense, Robin, the colors, but I was just making a joke. But I hear you.
No, but we were talking about that. I think 2 weeks ago on I Sell Comics when we were doing like a Robin retrospective. Robin was essentially they lifted him whole cloth from Robin Hood. You know, his
his outfit. Yeah,
his outfit.
His original. Yeah.
And they needed a sidekick for exposition because I mean, weird having a guy talk to himself all the time. You know what, Batman? This is. I mean, I know Batman.
Robin has a better name like swing to it than exposition. So,
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Although
I'm surprised they didn't make that into
that'll be the new
X-Men spinoff. Yeah. The Amazing Expositions. So this is in honor of George. God bless you. We're pulling for you. We're hoping for a miracle, but we're also hoping for you to spend
as much time as you can comfortably.
Yeah, with your family and surrounded by people who love you and who you love. So, which is a lot of fans. He is such a sweet man. So, that's cool. And like I said, Stash will be getting some. Don't know how many. And hopefully Heroes Initiative will see the desire for more and go to a second printing. So you heard it here on I Sell Comics first, folks. And upcoming, we've got some more upcoming. The Death of the Justice League. Now, from what I understand, the Justice League is going to lose the Trinity. Yes.
Really?
From what I understand, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are going to be killed. And we're going to see what happens, how this plays out, and how the Justice League is able to respond and
move on.
Reform. Yes. We know they've got Black Adam in there. Naomi is in there, one of Brian Michael Bendis's original characters. Mm-hmm. And they've got Black Canary and Green Arrow. So there are a lot of heroes in there, but they're not the Trinity. They're not the big three of the DC universe. Okay. So I want to see how this sticks.
What do you think about that?
I mean, truth be told,
you have that look on your face.
No, I'm just thinking because I'm like, I'm curious to know how well that's going to sell. That's probably going to be a huge book.
It's going to be a huge book. But the thing that I want to know is, because they've tried this before. And unsuccessfully, but they've tried it before where they
killed the Trinity or individuals.
They killed them as individuals, but they've also replaced them with substitute heroes. Mm-hmm. So James Robinson did a run of Justice League, which was underrated, and it got banged around because of company-wide crossovers. And
how long ago was that?
That was about 10 years ago.
So it was before a lot of the TV show and movie.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. Very much so.
Okay.
So, but they had Mon-El step in for Superman. They had Donna Troy step in for Wonder Woman. And they had, this was when Batman was supposedly dead in Final Crisis. And they had Dick Grayson, he donned the mantle of the Bat. So, which was really cool. And, Nightwing stepping into Batman's
Is your role. Assumption that they'll kind of do a similar thing here or more or less?
I was going to ask the same thing,
yeah.
I mean,
you really think so? Because I would think that if they've tried that they might go in a slightly different direction. Maybe have different heroes stepping in.
I don't think they're going to have Mon-El because he's not in this
universe or storyline.
No, he's not not in this part of the multiverse, not in this section of the multiverse. And Dick Grayson is not going to take over the mantle of the Bat again. And I don't know who's going to step in.
I feel like it would be just kind of a retire of those characters in this iteration of this universe.
That would be lovely, but it's not going to happen because they're too much of a cash cow.
Well, and they're atavistic, right? So the Trinity are atavistic. They all represent certain qualities that tend to be, heroic qualities or anti-heroic qualities in some cases, in all kinds of storylines throughout history for all generations in all areas of the world. So someone's going to have to step in and going to have to sort of fill those roles. So it's going to be interesting.
I think you meant archetype.
Archetypal, but atavistic I think also fits. Let us know. Look up atavistic.
I think atavistic has to do with fear. I'm pretty sure.
We're going to research that and find out.
Well, you are, folks, so you'll let us know.
However, but the point still stands. So they're going to have to bring in characters that are going to have to step in and assume some of the burden of carrying forward.
And we'll see what happens.
It'll be interesting to see.
James Robinson was unsuccessful back in the day. It was actually Teen Titans Light because he brought in Cyborg. It was mostly the Teen Titans Starfire. Jade from Infinity Inc. came in, and she's the daughter of the original Green Lantern. So it was weird.
I was gonna say when you said Teen Titans for a second, I was like, wait, they really? Because I just watched it. I was like, they really bought in the Teen Titans Go characters. I was like, how does that work?
No, not the Teen Titans Go characters.
Oh my god! But no, just
I know.
Oh my god, that'd be the weirdest crossover.
That would be the weirdest. You're right about that.
I'm curious. I'm excited to read that book.
Yeah.
When's the release date?
In 2 months. So yes, in the next 2 months, it should be out.
Question for you, because what's the typical pipeline for these comics? Like is it like they've announced it's already in the works, and by the time it's published, it's like it's done in like obviously like the publication day when it's released, it's out there.
Right.
But like, how long do they usually sit on it and have it ready before?
Oh, you mean what's my lead time?
Yeah,
about 2 months.
About 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's probably already a done book, and they're just doing the printing and pressing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah,
finalizing some of the cover art, and
the
stuff
artwork
like that.
and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Always wondered about that about comic books.
Pretty
The
cool.
lead time. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you want to go through some of the new stuff this week? I know.
Yeah,
you have
actually,
one book in particular.
There's a couple of
comic of the week.
A couple of new and notables. Yeah, we've got Venom came out. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, pretty cool storyline. Nightwing, where he crosses over with Jonathan Kent, the new Superman. I'm looking up there. The Flash is always fantastic. What else do I have? X-Men came out. Very cool.
What's happening in the X-Men universe now?
Oh, it's too convoluted for me to get into right now. They have
we could devote a whole
we could devote like an entire 24-hour show to that. Thor came out. A bunch of independents. Angel's been pretty cool. It's like Angel in the Multiverse from Boom Studios. The Lion and the Eagle.
I see G.I. Joe up there, and I know that
G.I. Joe Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah,
this is the Saturday morning adventures. These are like based on. They're pretty cool. It's like cartoony adventures.
They're based on the old show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's pretty dope. And there's one that I was very impressed with this week, which is my lock of the week. That's a big lock. No, this is Iron Fist #1. So there's a new Iron Fist in town, folks. Danny Rand, the former Iron Fist. Pride of Kunlun. Don't say that very fast because that sounds horrible. But Pride of Kunlun gave up his Iron Fist in he was doing a showdown with the Phoenix Force. So to save the world, he gave up the power of the Iron Fist. And now there's a new Iron Fist in town. And Danny is like, who the hell's this kid? Because, Danny's like, I'm just a guy who knows a lot of Kung Fu right now. That's pretty much all I am. I don't have the power of the Iron Fist anymore. I'm a hell of a fighter, but, taking on like super villains, not going to happen right now. And now there's a new Iron Fist. And in the Matt Fraction, Ed Brubaker run, they showed that there was a mantle of the Iron Fist.
Like it had been passed down.
Yes, there was.
I was just going to say,
an Iron Fist.
How did a new Iron Fist kind of rise up?
Without Danny knowing about it,
yeah.
And especially since Kunlun is in a different dimension and not on this plane of being, and only like every 10 years it comes to pass that we're so close that we can punch
like
through.
Brigadoon.
Yeah, much like
we're so close.
Decadoon, because Brigadoon is never mind. So. This is the volley for serve, and this is really done really well. Alyssa Wong wrote it. Michael, I don't know how to spell or pronounce his last name. YG Michael Yig, and J. David.
You think
Ramos.
He did that on purpose? Or you think that's
I would have. I've been like,
he's like, I'm going to screw Michael Zapsik on live.
I'm
podcast.
doing it just for him.
The artwork is amazing.
But the artwork is amazing.
The artwork feels like the Shang-Chi. Take a look.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I just was like, ooh.
It feels like the Shang-Chi movie looked. You know what I'm saying? It has that kinetic kind of
explosive
flow.
Yeah.
And it's got good feng shui. It does. It's got good feng shui.
I loved that movie too.
Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, a movie that shouldn't have worked, but worked beautifully.
Yeah.
All the if you pick apart all the separate elements, it shouldn't fit together, but it did, and gorgeously. So very cool about that. Iron Fist #1. Check it out.
Check it out, people.
Let's talk about a couple of other things. We've got. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, I did. I was Christian and I were connecting before, and so I just want to say thank you to the publishing companies for making more and more for kids to read, and the look and the squeal of delight on one parent's face when she came in earlier last week, and she's got a 3-year-old, and I think I've said this before on the show, and we've noticed that more and more parents are coming in with their younger kids, and not only are they picking up comics after having taken a hiatus for a long time and getting excited about it, but they're taking their own excitement and sharing it with their kids, and they're getting their kids into comics. And so the Stash has been trying to bolster our selection. So we've got, we've had to bring in like the ultimate spinning rack to hold all the new comics. And one of the things that we tried out, we said, well, let's get a few board books. And like, I've literally had a mother come in and she's like, I've got a 3-year-old and,
I still want them to read.
And she was like, I'm looking around. She goes, they're going to destroy that. I'm like, how about a board book? Do they have board books? She's like, oh yeah, that's perfect. I'm like, well, how about this one? She's like, and she was super excited. So we're going to be getting some more of these too, and different titles. I always.
It's a good idea.
Yeah,
it's a really good idea.
It's always delightful for me to see people get amped up and excited about it and bring their kids in. And
I'm curious what it does look like inside though, because if it is for younger kids,
go ahead, open it.
Can we open it? Okay, so we're gonna unwrap this. We'll have Johnny rewrap it, right? Johnny's our wrapping expert. He prepares all these books for sale. I might need a hand. You would think I'd be able to get in there and do that, but not. But what were you gonna say?
No, I like that that the thought is there to even make those type of books, because you would assume that it's like, oh, the comics, they're not necessarily for kids, which can be argued back and forth. Neither here, some of them are not, but like, to get them started correctly on the right. Oh, okay, that's actually dope.
Yeah. You like that? Right?
I do like the artwork. Okay, so it's basic enough for kids. It's not like the full on. It's not like the full on comic books, but like it's still a great introduction.
Introduction.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Isn't that great? Wow, look at that. Nice. Yeah. The kids can get really.
Shema. Nice.
He also dodges laser bolts very fast. Anyway, so so it's nice to see the kids getting back into younger and younger. And so if you have a local comic book shop and you've got kids and you're looking, just
come to Jay and Silent Bob's.
We have this. Yes, you can come to Jay and Silent Bob's. But if you can't make it to Jay and Silent Bob's, ask them to bring in more of this stuff.
Go to your local
support that. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about in-store events. We closed the deal on one yesterday. Can we announce that?
I think we still need to get with the artist and get approvals for some things, but we've got a really phenomenal. Well, I'll tell you about it.
We're gonna have an in-store signing.
Signing.
It'll be me, guys.
In April.
Well, one day it'll be Christian. This isn't Christian, but it's a comic book creator that we met years ago. And another testament. I know Kevin is has inspired a lot of people, but just keep going, like dream it and do it. Just keep going. And this is an example of somebody who had a brilliant idea. And he took the ball. He just ran with it, and and it's not easy, right? You have a lot of hurdles. You got, COVID hit, but he never gave up. It's a phenomenal storyline, and it's getting it. Again, like the overnight sensation stuff, he's been working on it for a while, but it is getting the attention it deserves from some folks who have a potential to really push it out there, in TV and movies, perhaps. Yeah. But anyway, he's a phenomenal human being, a great talent, and we're really happy that he agreed to come and be our, one of our first in-store signings. Yeah. So we're going to nail down the details of that, and we'll make sure to let everybody know. So yeah. And then hopefully, awesome. I mean, we have, because of the new space, I think it's going to be a little more conducive. It was a little more difficult to do things like that in the old space, but a little bit brighter, a little bit more open. And we're looking forward to having people come in and actually meet some of the people and get to know a little bit more about creators and creation.
And the store's got some great feng shui.
It does have some great feng shui. So yeah, so that's one, and we have lines out. I think we have 1, 2, 3 folks that we have top of the list that have agreed, and so we're just working on some of the details. So we'll have some more of that. Yep.
So we're teasing.
Absolutely.
That's our teaser trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
I dig it.
Yeah, well, you have to.
I'll be there.
Yeah. You have to come in.
Come hang out.
So, and I thought it was nice. This came out this week because let's talk a little bit about the stash too, since we're here in the stash. No,
we're losing time. We'll do. Yeah, we do actually have to do this. This is by Sjogren. This is Guru Askew.
Yeah, just released on Valentine's Day, I think.
Yes,
right?
It was.
Came in on Valentine's Day, and it is a very it's a very wild, freaky, wonderful interpretation.
What that is.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
Take a look, folks. I'm gonna take it out of the packaging.
It's called Guru Askew.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And we have a very limited number here at the Secret Stash.
We do. You can get it here at the Stash. It's $100, but if you're not close to the Stash,
signed by Kevin Smith.
It is absolutely signed. You can go on jayandsilentbob.com. So all one word, jayandsilentbob.com, and you can order it and have it delivered there too. So it's super cool. And
this is so badass, by the way.
That is awesome. Who made it?
Sjogren.
Chogrin, and on social too. Yeah. Very cool.
There you go, Christian. I'm going to pass it down to you.
Ooh. I can dig it.
Yeah, right?
That is awesome.
It is cool.
That came out so well.
It did.
Right?
It did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I think there are going to be different versions of it, but this is called the readable version because for obvious reasons.
And it smells like vinyl. It's awesome.
I'm not going to sniff it right now. I almost did.
No on-air sniffing. It's a family show. No on-air sniffing.
I also love the little clerk script.
Yep.
This is great.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
This is literally one of the coolest pieces.
Things, right?
This is dope.
Yeah.
Very well made. Get it now, people, while you still can.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of them.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, it is cool. All right,
awesome.
Here you go.
So congratulations, Sjogren. Nicely done. Kevin, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put that back there. That's nice.
Yeah, we can put that. What else did you want to cover? I know you had some other stuff you said you wanted to.
No, we're actually running out of time, but I did want to say one thing. Folks, support your local comic shops. And if you don't have one by you and you want to be a reservist, you can call me up here at the Secret Stash, and I would be happy to set you up with your own pull list.
You know what? That's a really good yes. You know, it was very sweet. We had a couple of folks for Valentine's Day who were looking for Valentine's Day gifts, and they called the store and they said, "I want to set up a reservist account for my loved one, and here's my budget." And
they said they love her.
Yeah, and so their loved one gets to call the store and come up with a pull list with Michael, and every month get their stuff shipped to them. So
straight.
And not just like local. I mean, both of these people did it. So we're shipping. I think one is out to the Midwest.
Yep.
And the other's all the way on the West Coast. So
yes,
yeah.
So we're now their local comic shop.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is pretty cool.
Oh, Mike. Someone wanted to know if you could pre-order that the book for the.
I don't know how many I'm getting. So
the crossover.
Yes, the crossover. I wish I could say yes. Unfortunately. Until I know when Diamond is going to ship them to me and I have them in hand, I never make promises like that because
you never know.
You never know. They could come in damaged or they could be allocated. Like I said, they're going to allocate. There are only 7,000 of these.
So when
and all I need is one guy.
When do you find out?
I will find out like 2 weeks before.
So you could, though, on that week's I Sell Comics, when you find out, you could make an announcement.
I will. Yeah. And we're getting a limited number because we don't want to be hogs. We want to make sure it's true. I didn't get like 7,000. Not like I ordered $7,000 of them.
Although he did tell me this morning, he goes, "Yeah, they're only making 7,000." I'm like, "Great." I'm like, "How many did you request?" He goes, 7,000. I looked at him. I'm like. And he just laughed. He's like, "Yeah, drink more coffee." No, I didn't order 7,000.
You know what? I didn't want to be that guy. And there are places that have, a bigger customer base than we do, and they're going to be getting the lion's share of them. So our request is, while not minimal, it's pretty respectable.
Yeah. So, and we'll make an announcement when we get closer to that. So great. Well, Ming, safe trip. And Ming will be back next week, hopefully, if the schedules work out well.
Court dates,
And
ending.
Thank you, Christian.
Thanks so much for jumping in. We appreciate it.
Jumping here.
Oh, the pleasure's mine, guys.
Yeah. Amazing.
You're the best.
Amazing. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us this week.
And on that note, there you go.